this session of multiple choice questions, our topic of consideration is DUIS, that is differentiation under integral sign. Differentiation under integral sign. There are only two formulae you have to remember. Rule 1, when limits are constants. Suppose if you have I of alpha is equal to integration a to b f of x alpha dx, then di by d alpha, that alpha is called as a parameter because if you evaluate this integral which is with respect to x and after putting the limits, finally what will remain? The answer of this integration will be in terms of alpha, so that's why we are calling it as a I of alpha, not I of x. If the integration with respect to alpha d alpha, then it will be I of x. So take note of that, dx, so it will be I of alpha. So derivative di by d alpha, we can differentiate this integration by using this formula or this rule, integration a to b del by del alpha of f of x alpha dx. This is rule 1. When limits are constant, only you have to take derivative of that integration by taking the derivative inside, but that derivative will become the partial. Means with respect to alpha, if you are taking derivative, that x you have to treat as a constant. This is rule 1. Then rule 2. Rule 2 is when limits are in terms of parameter. Limits are in terms of parameter alpha. Suppose again that I of alpha is equal to integration a of alpha to b of alpha. Here the limits are not constant, that lower limit is in terms of alpha, upper limit is also in terms of alpha of f of x alpha dx. Then how will you take derivative? Di by d alpha, it will be equal to integration a alpha to b alpha del by del alpha of f of x alpha dx. This is similar to first rule, only additionally you have to consider derivative of upper limit db by d alpha into f of b alpha, means whatever the f of x alpha you have, in that replace x by the upper limit f of b alpha minus third term dA by d alpha into f of a alpha, means take derivative of lower limit into f of x alpha, replace x by a. So this will be the second rule of differentiation for the integration, differentiation under integration sign, or how to take derivative of integration when limits are containing the parameter, and this is when limits are constant. Actually, if you are applying this is the basic main rule. When limits are constant, these two things become zero, because if a and b are constant, these two derivatives will become zero and the derivative will reduce to only this thing. Okay, so actually these are not two rules, actually this is only one rule. This is the master rule, we can say. So consider examples. Question number 1. Already here, question number 1. If phi of a is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x upon x into 1 minus e raised to minus ax dx, where that a is greater than minus 1, then by differentiation on the integral sign, what is d phi by dA? Means you have to take derivative of this with respect to a. Differentiate with respect to a. Dx means parameter is a, and while taking derivative, you have to first of all think of the limits. Limits are what? 0 and infinity, means limits are constants, means you have to apply the rule 1. What rule 1 says? While taking derivative, you take it by considering the partial differentiation, means d by dA will become what? Del by del A, and the term as it is, e raised to minus x upon x into 1 minus e raised to minus ax and then dx. Now this is a partial derivative, del by del a, partial derivative with respect to a. So x you have to treat as a constant, means it is 0 to infinity e raised to minus x upon x, and derivative of 1 is 0 minus derivative of e raised to minus ax with respect to a is e raised to minus ax into minus x. Take note of this. I have not taken as minus a into minus a. We are taking derivative with respect to a, not with respect to x. So it is into minus x, chain rule, into dx. That is equal to integration 0 to infinity minus minus plus, and x will cancel, so what remains? E raised to minus x into e raised to minus ax dx. That is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus, by law of indices and taking that x common, so it will be minus into bracket a plus 1 into x dx. Now what are the options? You can see the option D is the correct answer for this. Option D is the answer. This is question number 1. Next, move for question number 2. Question number 2. What is question number 2? Question number 2 is, if I of x is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus a square into cos of ax dA. Okay, what is the parameter here? Integration is with respect to a. So apart from a, there is x, means x is the parameter. X is the parameter. They are asked to find out what? Di by dx. So differentiate with respect to x, di by dx. As the limits are constant, I will use rule 1. So it is integration 0 to infinity. Derivative, how to consider partial derivative, del by del x of e raised to minus a square cos of ax dA. That is integration 0 to infinity with respect to x, a you have to is a constant, means e raised to minus a square as it is, and derivative of cos ax with respect to x, that is minus sin ax into a with respect to x dA. Take note of this. We are taking derivative with respect to x. So it is minus integration 0 to infinity a into e raised to minus a square sin of ax dA. So what is the option? Option C. You can say option C is integration 0 to infinity minus a e raised to minus a square sin of ax dA. So option C is the answer. This is question number 2. Let us move for question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 is, if phi of a is equal to integration 0 to a square tan inverse of x upon a, tan inverse of x upon a, then by duis, what is d phi by dA? Means differentiate with respect to a. So d phi by dA. Okay, what are the limits? 0 and a square, parameter is a, limits are not constant, means which rule we have to apply? Rule number 2. With f of x a instead of alpha, rule we have written in terms of alpha, here the example is in terms of parameter a. So f of x a is tan inverse of x upon a. So applying that rule, it is integration 0 to a square del by del a of tan inverse of x upon a dx plus, what that rule says, after this next term is derivative of upper limit, means d by dA of a square into f of x a, replace x by upper limit. This is f of x a, replace x by upper limit, that is tan inverse of a square upon a, tan inverse of a square upon a, minus derivative of lower limit, that is d by dA of 0 into tan inverse of, replace x by lower limit, that is tan inverse of 0 by a. So simplify it further. Also keep watching the options. What are the options? Means as per the options we don't need to simplify this. This will be as it is. So integration 0 to a square del by del a of tan inverse of x upon a dx plus d by dA of a square, that is 2a into tan inverse of a square by a is a plus this derivative is 0, means only these terms we have. Integration 0 to a square tan del by del a of tan inverse of x upon a dx plus 2a tan inverse of a, means option A. You can see option A is the correct answer. This is question number 3, where the limits were not constant, limits were parameters. Let us consider one more example of this type. Question number 4. F of t is equal to integration t to t square e raised to tx square dx. Then what is df by? Then what is df by dt? Okay, there must be the correction. Instead of df by dA, it must be df by dt. So parameter is t. Differentiate with respect to t. Now that df by dt will be equal to, you can see that limits are not constant, limits are in terms of parameter, means we have to use the rule number 2. So first thing, take partial derivative inside the integration, that is del by del t of e raised to tx square dx plus next term derivative of upper limit, that is d by dt of t square into e raised to tx square. X you have to replace by upper limit, that is e raised to t into t square. E raised to t into, it is actually what? T square square. X is t square. So x square you have to replace by t square square. Minus third term d by dt of lower limit is t into e raised to t into x square, but x replaced by lower limit, that is t square. Let's simplify it. Integration t to t square, let remain as it is as per the options. We don't need to simplify this. Plus derivative of t square is 2t e raised to t into t square, that is t raised to 5 e raised to t raised to 5 minus derivative of t is 1, this is 1 into e raised to t cube, e raised to t cube. So our answer is integration t to t square del by del t of e raised to t x square dx plus 2t e raised to t raised to 5 minus e raised to t cube, which is option C. So option C is the answer for this. Okay, so this is how we find the derivative by using that rules, differentiation under integral sign. You have to take note of the limits also. When limits are constant, use rule 1, and when limits are in terms of parameter, use rule 2. Okay, now let us move for the next type. Question number 5. Using DUIS rule, the value of integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x upon x 1 minus e raised to minus ax dx with given thing d phi by dA is equal to 1 upon a plus 1. Now this is another type of example which they can ask on DUIS. d phi by dA derivative is 1 upon a plus 1. This is given, no need to find. And what about the integral? Integral is with respect to x, means what is the parameter? Parameter is a, means it is I of a. Call it as a equation number 1. Now d phi by dA they have given equal to 1 upon a plus 1, and the question is what is the value of this integration? So in this type you consider this derivative, take integration of this derivative with respect to a. So integrating this derivative with respect to with respect to a. Derivative of phi with respect to a. If I integrate with respect to a, derivative and integration cancel each other. What remains? Only phi. And phi nothing but what? Phi of a. Okay, they have used the notation phi. Let us instead of I use the notation phi. So phi of a, after taking integration, LHS will be phi of a is equal to RHS integration is log of a plus 1. Note that we are taking integration with respect to a, and this is without limits, so we have to consider the constant of integration c. So phi of a, we have phi of a is equal to log of a plus 1 plus c, but this answer will be complete after finding the value of c. Now how to find that c? To find that c, you have to use some condition on a, so that this integral will become 0, or this integrand will become 0. If I take a as 0, this will be 1 minus e raised to 0. E raised to 0 is 1. It means 1 minus 1, that is 0. So integration of 0 will be 0. So for a equal to 0 in equation 1, what we will have? Phi of 0 will be equal to integration 0 to infinity of 0 dx, which is 0. You can simplify this, means e raised to 0 1, so that 1 minus 1 is 0, so integration will be 0. So phi of 0 we have 0. Now put that a equal to 0 in, call this as a 2, put that a equal to 0 in 2, so what you will have? Phi of 0 is equal to log of 0 plus 1 plus c. So phi of 0 we have calculated as 0. Log of 0 plus 1, that is log of 1. Log of 1 we know it is 0 plus c. It implies value of c is equal to 0. So if you put this c into, answer will be what? Phi of a is equal to log of a plus 1. So the required integral phi of a is log of a plus 1. Log of a plus 1. So what are the options? Option A itself. Option A itself is the correct answer. Log of a plus 1. So this is how we find the value of integral if derivative is given. d phi by dA is given. This is question number 5. Question number 5. Okay, let us consider one more example of this type. Question number 6. It is okay. Question number 6. New type, but for the same, where the derivative is given and they are asked to find out the integration. Okay, let us consider this integration. I of b is given as integration 0 to infinity cos lambda x upon x into e raised to minus ax minus e raised to minus bx. Then, okay, let us consider this di by db. They are asked to find out the derivative. Okay, limits are constants, means you have to use the rule number 1. di by db will be equal to integration 0 to infinity. The derivative you have to consider partial del by del b of cos lambda x upon x into e raised to minus x minus e raised to minus bx dx. Okay, so that is integration 0 to infinity. We have to take derivative with respect to b. So x is constant, so this cos lambda x upon x will remain outside, and derivative of e raised to minus ax is constant with respect to b, so it's 0, and derivative of e raised to minus bx is minus e raised to minus bx into minus x, because we are taking derivative with respect to b, and this dx as it is. So it is minus minus plus, x will cancel, so what remains? Integration 0 to infinity cos lambda x into e raised to minus bx dx. So what is the option? Option C, you can see integration 0 to infinity cos lambda x e raised to minus bx. So option C is the answer for this. This question number example Seventh example, it is integration if I of alpha is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x minus e raised to minus alpha x upon x sec x dx, and di by d alpha is also given as di by d alpha is alpha upon alpha square plus 1. Then what is the I of alpha? So it is of the type where the integral is asked and derivative is given. Di by d alpha is given as alpha upon alpha square plus 1. Take integration with respect to alpha. So I of alpha is equal to integration alpha upon alpha square plus 1 d alpha plus constant of integration c. Now that 2 you have to adjust because alpha square plus 1 derivative is 2 alpha. So 2 adjusting, so it is 1 upon 2 into 2 alpha upon alpha square plus 1 d alpha plus c. It is 1 upon 2. This is log of alpha square plus 1 plus c. So I of alpha is equal to 1 by 2 log of alpha square plus 1 plus c. Called as equation number 2. This original integral called as a 1. Now we have to find out c. For c, put some special value of parameter alpha in 1. So if I put here alpha as a 1, it will be e raised to minus x minus e raised to minus x, which is 0. So we'll consider alpha equal to 1 in integral 1. So that I of 1 is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x minus e raised to minus x upon x sec x dx, which is 0, because this numerator is 0 and integration of 0 is 0. So we have the value of I of 1. Now put alpha equal to 1 in equation 2. So what do you will have? I of 1 is equal to 1 upon 2 log of alpha square plus 1, that is 1 plus 1 plus c. I of 1 we have calculated as 0. So it is 0 is equal to 1 upon 2 log of 2 plus c. So that will give you value of c as minus 1 by 2 log of 2. Now put this value of c into to get the complete answer. So putting c into, we have I of alpha is equal to 1 upon 2 log of alpha square plus 1 minus 1 upon 2 log of 2. That is 1 upon 2 log of 1 upon 2 common into log of alpha square plus 1 minus log of 2. By property of log, it will be log of alpha square plus 1 by 2. Okay. So the answer is option B. But alpha and A are similar. So consider that parameter as alpha, parameter as a alpha. Even if there is A, you can consider all that A as alpha, or if there is alpha, consider all that as A. Only one parameter alpha. There are not both A and alpha. So this is the 7th example of the type where the integral is asked and derivative is given. Okay, let us consider one last example. Example is, if I of A, 8th example, if I of A is equal to integration from pi by 6a to pi by 2a of sin ax upon x dx, then what is di by dA? So again the question is to find out derivative. So limits are what? Limits are in terms of parameter, means we have to apply the rule number 2. So taking derivative of 1, differentiating integral 1 with respect to a by rule 2 of dUIS. So it will be di by dA is equal to integration pi by 6a to pi by 2a of this integration, and then derivative have to consider partial del by del A of sin ax upon x dx, plus, as there are parameters in the limits, derivative of upper d by dA of pi by 2a into replace x by upper limit, so it is sine of a into pi by 2a divided by pi by 2a minus d by dA of lower limit, that is pi by 6a into sine of replace x by lower limit a into pi by 6a divided by pi by 6a. Now just simplify this, so that is equal to integration pi by 6a to pi by 2a del by del derivative with respect to a, sine of ax derivative will be cos ax into x, so that x cancel, what remains only cos of ax dx plus this derivative is pi by 2a, pi by 2 constant, and 1 upon a derivative is minus 1 upon a square, so it is minus pi by 2a square. This will get inverted, means 2a upon pi, sine of a cancel, sine of pi by 2 is 1. Next, minus d by d of this pi by 6, a derivative is minus pi by 6 a square, so minus plus pi by 6 a square. This will get inverted, means 6a upon pi into sine of this a cancel, sine of pi by 6 sine 30, that is 1 upon 2. Just simplify it. Last step, integration pi by 6a to pi by 2a of cos ax dx. This will put as it is as per the options. Then minus this 2 cancel, 1a cancel, pi cancel, so what remains only minus 1 upon a. Here pi cancel, 6 cancel, 1a cancel, so what remains plus 1 upon 2a. So what is the option? Integration pi by 6a to pi by 2a cos ax dx plus minus 1 upon a plus 1 upon 2a. So option is option C. Option C. So these are the examples on DUIS, where they may ask you to find out the derivative, or they may ask you to find out the value of integral provided the derivative is given. Only these two things are there. Use the rules properly for finding derivative. If the limits are constant, use rule 1. If limits are in terms of parameter, use rule 2. And while finding the value of integral, when the derivative is given, take integration of derivative and then find out the value of c by considering proper value of parameter t. Okay.